you guys? Welcome to the Francois Podcast.
What's up, y'all? What's happening?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. And for our first-time listeners, we welcome you. If you don't know who we are Sebastian and Clichelle.
Those are our names. Thought we got some nice names, y'all. A little unique, don't you think? Oh, that just rhymed. That's dope.
What rhymed?
Unique. Think.
Oh, okay.
Come on, I do this.
Okay. Anywho, for first-time listeners, feel free to subscribe on our Apple Podcast, follow us on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube. Definitely leave your commentary on our Instagram page, The Francois Podcast. We welcome all commentary, feedback, whatever you'd like to suggest in terms of topics. We're all here for it. Thank you in advance.
Yeah, whatever's your preferred streaming platform, check us out.
How was your week? How did it go?
What you mean? You was here. You know how my week went. How you not know how my week went?
Can you tell the people how your week went?
Oh, see, you gotta be specific. My week was alright. Very busy as usual. You know what I'm saying? It's regular work, man. Work been crazy. Stuff outside of work been crazy. I don't know. I feel like I'm always doing the main thing, but you know, it is what it is.
You grinding
as always.
As always.
But your work is weird. Yeah, on my side job, right? There's this one guy at my job that says hi to me every time he sees me. He's a nice guy.
He says hi like...
every single time he sees me. You know when you see somebody, like, let's say even take it back to school, you see somebody in the hall, first time you see him, you know, it's the big hello, you dap him up, whatever, yeah, what's good, what's going on, all that stuff. Then when you come by again, you kind of just, you know, give the quick head nod or you act like you don't see him. Like, this is just kind of, it's what we do, like, as a society.
I don't think you should talk about your work people because they might be listeners.
I promise this nigga I'm talking about is not listening.
Okay.
Like, he's not listening.
You sure?
Not listening.
Okay.
Like, he knows nothing of my life, of anything.
I don't know. You may never know. He might be one of those that just looks you up.
We're not friends.
Just...
Like, we're actually not friends.
Okay, but you don't know who he knows that might be your friend.
I don't know. Every time I see him,
it's just like... If you do listen, we apologize.
Every time I see him, it's like, hey, what's up, brother? How you doing? But then when he sees me again, it's the same big greeting, like the first one.
Maybe he has
and if I see him 4 times, it's like he does. It's like I get the same joint, and I'm just like, yo, bro, like let's just and you know when you're in a rush, it's like, all right, let me pass on the hello. He's going somewhere. Nope, the nigga chase me down and just say hi.
He chases you down.
Not a chase, but it's like a quick little sprint. Like, hey, what's up? Like, bro,
what?
We did this already.
That's awkward.
It's a little weird.
It's very weird.
It's weird.
Yeah,
and he's a nice guy, but like, slow down. You gotta relax.
What do you
think?
At a 10, only does
I need you at a 3.
Does he do that just to you, or
I don't know if he does that to. He probably do it to anybody else. But all I know is that it happens with me all the time. It happened just this past weekend.
Yeah,
I'm just like, and I be trying to duck and dodge him. Like, I don't know. People are kind of weird in that building. But I mean, no disrespect to him. He's actually a cool guy. Like, he's a nice guy. But like, I just don't get that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I give you a hi once. If I see you again, you might catch a head nod or whatever, or I might not acknowledge you at all. You know how it goes.
I do just like a nice, friendly smile. It doesn't matter how many times I see people at work, I just always give a smile. It's just one of my habits. Like, I get to a point where I'm like, I hope I'm not just smiling too much and the person is not annoyed. Because I pass around the majority of the time of the day, I pass around the same people. And then when I don't see people often, I see them like twice that day or 3 times, I definitely give an extra smile. So that works
for you and for women. Like, yeah, that little smirk, but I'm not smiling at a man. So that's going to be a little...
So what do you do when you see a man all the time at work?
I duck, hop on my phone, and just keep it chucking.
Every single time?
Yeah, for the most part. But here's the thing, the guys get it, so we just doing it to each other.
So you purposely ignore each other?
The second time, yeah.
Or the third?
Unless we're like really
That's
tight,
really weird.
Unless we're like really friends, then we'll probably say something again in passing and all that stuff. But if it's just somewhat of just a coworker you say what's up to, you kind of cool with. I'm not giving you a grand hi. Like, I'm not giving you this big hello every time. That's weird to me. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just from the Northeast and I just happen to think that
and
way.
We're mean, yeah.
Maybe in the South they do give big hellos
Southern hospitality
all the time. But I don't know. But no, it is
that
what it
is. Southern greeting, that very warmth, embrace. That's good. My week was pretty busy as well. I just want to give you guys an update on our cleanse. We haven't done it.
Nope.
We have not started.
I actually just had some ice cream.
We haven't. Well, I purposely didn't touch on it this week. I know that we promised the 28th, but I realized that my job had a huge dinner, executive dinner that I had to attend to on Thursday, and I just felt like if I'm going to start the cleanse, it would be rude not to eat in the dinner that was pretty much put on for my team. So I didn't do it. And I purposely didn't talk to Sebastian about it because I know he wouldn't care. So we haven't done it. We haven't touched on it. I don't know when we're going to start. Valentine's Day is coming up. So
yeah, we got to do it after that.
You sure?
After Valentine's Day, yeah. Because we're going to go out for dinner.
Okay. So, I mean, stay tuned for when we're going to start. We have not done anything. We've literally been eating really bad all week.
Oh, speak for yourself.
I know you're not going to. We have been eating bad.
Do you even know what I've been
all
eating?
Week.
You don't even know what I've been eating.
And it's been very treacherous, but we're going to get better. The goal to get fit or die trying is at a pause right now, but we're going to get it together.
I've been in the gym. I've been eating right all week. I don't know what she talking about.
Okay, if you say so. No problem. Anyway, moving on. We also, news for us and you guys, we have a new battery in our fire alarm.
Oh.
So no more sounding off and beeps. I put the battery in. Sebastian did not.
What so I put the hell?
You did not.
Why you gotta do it like I was at work?
I said it like that. No, you weren't. You were home. You were home, and then I was like, "Did you see the battery?"
No,
I put it in the cupboard. Okay, well, would you like to put it in the fire alarm? Because I bought it for the fire alarm.
I was gonna get to it.
Right. So I did that, and let's hope I put it in right because it's like our ceilings are high, so I tried my best to put it. I couldn't see the end from my angle of where. I knew it's in the right port, but I don't know if it was backwards or whatever. So it hasn't rung since it's been in. It hasn't beeped. So kudos to us. We finally put the battery in the fire alarm. That's as far as it goes in terms of the updates. But otherwise, we've had very busy weeks this week, and we're going to try to... What's the face? What's the issue?
I don't got no issue.
Oh, okay. All right, then. But let's dive into our topic of the week. And I think you guys will get a kick out of this because there's a lot we're going to dive into. We're going to be talking about our boundaries. Boundaries in the marriage and all things concerning marriage and outside of the marriage. There's a lot that we're going to get ready to talk about. So brace yourselves, get ready as we dive in deep. All right. So first set of boundaries that we can talk about is basically the ones that we uphold in our marriage. And that speaks to the first thing I guess I can talk about is the respect. It's a very, very, very obvious boundary to respect your mate and your spouse. But you'd be surprised of how many marriages don't really have that in their marriage. And with us, it was set very, very clearly from Jump Street. This young man, literally respected me from the door, and I respected him from the door. And that's a boundary that every couple that's in a relationship and into their marriage should have. That's a boundary that I guess we can discuss a little bit. If we had no respect for one another, I don't know if people could really deal in a relationship if they had no respect for one another. Do you know any relationships? I do, actually, now that I think about it, who have no respect for their mate. Yeah, the boundary of respect lacks. Do you know anybody who has an issue of disrespect or no respect in their relationship?
I mean, maybe, but I ain't about to put them on blast.
You don't have to. I'm just saying, how do you adjust? How do you cope? How do you deal when you're in a relationship without the boundary of respect?
I don't know. That ain't my relationship, but I mean, I wouldn't deal. I couldn't deal.
Yeah.
I'm not about to be disrespected or disrespect the person I'm with. What are we doing this for? If we're just going to be disrespecting each other. That's how I see it.
Yeah. If you're in a relationship like that, run. Run far away. It's not just temporary. It's not just seasonal. It's demeaning. It's devaluing you as a person. It's just not for you. So you have to set that. That's just like the number one thing. You have to set that boundary, that expectation for the person that you're with or getting ready to be with. You have to make sure that that is something, oh goodness, that is something from Jump Street that, listen, if you don't have respect in your relationship, in your situationship, in your marriage, cut it. Period.
Right.
All right, next. Now, a boundary of being supportive. Being supportive in your marriage, supporting your spouse, understanding and walking through. So I read an article where they broke down the action of being supportive, meaning you as your mate, you as your spouse. Are you supportive with your spouse, or are you taking ownership for your spouse? And supporting your spouse can be in this situation where your spouse has a quarrel with their family member or a quarrel with a friend. Are you the type of spouse that supports your mate by saying, hey, let's come up with solutions to best help or best resolve this quarrel? Or are you the person that's like, okay, let me talk to them for you? Are you the ownership? Are you the person that takes ownership? Or are you the person that supports?
That's a tough one, because if your wife is beefing with your sister, it's like, I mean, you gotta support your wife, but I don't know. What if it's your wife's fault that the beef is even happening?
Oh, okay. That brings us into a different realm. So if it is your wife's
Because
fault,
now it's just about right and wrong.
okay, you can tell your wife that she's wrong or right.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But if the wife is on that type of time where it's like, yo, stand with me and what I'm saying and all that stuff, then, you know, it can get a little spooky up there, because it's like, oh, that's my sister. You know what I'm saying? You over here talking crazy. Then it's like, oh, but I'm your wife. Like, that can get messy.
We did talk about priorities, right? So are you going to side with your sister even though your wife is right? Or are you going to just check your
If
wife?
my sister's wrong and my wife is right, I'm sorry, with my wife.
Even if your wife is wrong?
Nah, I think it's right or wrong. I think it's right over wrong in any case.
I think that's too. I think that's the same thing too. But I feel like if your wife is wrong, you still should support your wife and just check her or check your husband, whoever it is, and make sure that they know that you are wrong and this is why you're wrong. And we're gonna agree to disagree if you don't feel like you're wrong, but I feel like you are wrong.
So how are you? Okay.
However,
how are you being what's your definition of being unsupportive in that situation?
Unsupportive.
If your spouse is wrong.
If your spouse is wrong, so let's say you had a quarrel with my brother, one of my brothers, and you were wrong. The way that I would support you is to say, okay, we got to make this right. I will sit you down and say, okay, this is the best solution, or these are the options of a best solution, and let's figure out how to make sure we make amends. That's the way I would support you. I would tell my brother, like, I'm going to try to work this out. You guys have to work it out. I would tell my brother, you guys have to figure this out. You guys have to work this out. Rather than saying, I know he's wrong and blah, blah, blah. Because I'm still your wife. You're still my husband. We're still one. So we have to make sure that we are united. We have a united front. Okay, so I'm not going to be picking sides, although by default, I am on your side, but I do have to sit down with you and say, listen, this is my family. You are my family. We have to make amends so that we're united front. We're all united, pretty much. That's how I would support you.
Okay. Being unsupportive in that situation would be like,
being unsupportive would be like, baby, you wrong. Go to my sister. No. Let me say this. Baby, you wrong. I'm going to tell my sister you wrong. And you went to your sister and said, my wife is wrong. That would be unsupportive.
Even if you actually were wrong?
Yeah, even if I was wrong. Even if I was wrong, you're ultimately not supporting me through it. Because I could be dead wrong. You're right. I could be dead wrong. And so can you. You could be dead wrong. But there's ways to go about it, especially if it's a sensitive topic like that. If it's a sensitive subject, there's two people in your life that don't like each other or have had a problem. You have to be able to delicately handle it, as opposed to you got a problem and you need to fix it. So we beefing in this house because you need to fix it out there.
Okay, you got all turned up.
I got turned up because I feel as though that it would happen in a case where if I did have an issue with somebody that you loved who was there before me, you would not support me.
Why do you think that?
I think so because I don't know. You just you're very family oriented, and I think that
You're my family too.
I don't know.
You don't know that you're my family?
No, I know that I don't. I know that I'm your family, sweetheart. But I think that I would question whether you would. I don't want to say you would take sides. I would question whether you would handle it properly. I would question that. Yeah. I feel like you wouldn't not. I didn't want to say like you wouldn't support me as in like you would take their side over mine because I don't think that would happen. But I don't think you would properly handle it well. That's what I mean. So that means that you're not supporting me because you're not working it out with me. You're just kind of like, y'all need to figure it out. Or you're kind of like, man, this is just too much. I don't know what to say or I don't know what to do.
I mean, well, that'd be kind of hard to do with you because I know how stubborn you are.
It's not about being stubborn.
If I tell you exactly what I would like to happen, like what needs to be done, if you don't want to do it, you're just not going to do it. And then I'm going to just be like, okay.
I don't agree with that either.
But that's true, though.
I don't agree with that. And I think that you're using that as a cop-out.
Why?
Because I think that if any case, if you decided, listen, we're going to work this out or we're going to do this or we're going to work, like we're going to figure it out, as opposed to like, I want you guys to figure it out or I want you to do something about it, I would never be opposed to that option. Never.
I would do that, though.
So, okay, yeah. And I've never been opposed to it. Excuse me. I would never be opposed to it.
Okay, but I was.
So that's not even a good result. Like you're not even saying something realistic. It's like me being stubborn would mean me having to do it about 5 times where I'm just like, yo, I'm not doing this again. Like we should be out of resolve by now.
Okay, fair enough. You have fun taking your cheap shots at me?
There's no cheap shots. I'm just saying. Like, I just know who you are. So I feel like I wouldn't be supported. And I feel like...
I'm messing with you.
Okay. So say what you got to say. What's your rebuttal?
I don't really think I got one. I mean...
Because you know that's right.
No, I think I actually would resolve it.
Would you?
Yeah. If it's you and my sister, absolutely. I can't have that. Like, nah, that's going to bother me.
It's going to bother you, but are you going to do anything about it?
Hell yeah, I'm going to do something about it.
What would you do? How would you support me?
Like, yo, you got to talk to my sister.
So you pretty much wouldn't take ownership. You would just say, you have to figure it out.
Take ownership?
Yeah. Do you remember what I was saying at first?
No, I do, but I'm saying, like, I don't know. I guess maybe I view it differently. Like, if I was to have beef with your brothers, I wouldn't expect you to solve it. I would go solve it. Maybe that's why I see it. Maybe that's what it is. Like I wouldn't see you as like not supporting me. I'd be like, yo, babe, we got a situation. I'm gonna go handle it. Just so you don't have to. Like, you can step in if you want to, because you're the person in the middle. But I honestly wouldn't expect you to solve my problem, even if it was with somebody of your people's. I would just go do that.
Let's not say that. I'm not expecting you to solve.
Okay, well, take ownership. I wouldn't expect you to take ownership.
I'm not expecting you to step in take ownership.
Like you can if you want.
But if it's a problem,
I'm gonna go handle that because.
But what if it's a problem that's deeper than just
nothing's too deep for me to talk to somebody about. I realize that. I'm not. I have stubborn ways, but I'm not that stubborn. If anybody I've ever had a problem with any time want to speak to me about anything, I'm always open to any conversation.
I understand that, but not everybody is like that.
I'm talking about me. I know everybody's not like that. I was just talking about you, your situation. I mean, I was not your situation, but I'm talking about how you are, and and I know other people aren't, but I'm not that. Like, we could talk anytime. I'm not gonna be like, yo, unless you have to do something completely crazy Like, I'm talking bad for me to be like, yo, I don't even want this person in my presence. But
something between. Yeah. What if it's like that? What if it is like that with a family member? I don't even want to see this person.
Then let it. If it's something like bad, like I'm talking like, I don't know. I don't even want to throw examples out there. But if it's something that I know that can be resolved, then I'm not going to try.
You're not going to try.
No, I mean,
wouldn't be.
Nah, if they do something that, let's say like you had a family member that stole like $1,000 from you or something, and just didn't own up to it, but I got like irrevocable proof that it was them. Mm-hmm. Like, nah, that's bad blood forever. You got $1,000 from me. Every time I see you, I'm gonna be asking for that money, or we're probably just gonna fight. Like, it's gonna be bad. And what? Like, it'll be something like that. Like, then I'm gonna be like, I don't want to be around you. You're a thief. Mm-hmm. I don't trust you around me. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, you're still family, but like, nah. Mm-hmm. So it had to be a situation like that where I'll just be like, yeah, nah, I'm good on that. And I'll be honest with you, even then, like, I mean, I'm optimistic. Like, there could possibly be a point in the future where we could get past that. Maybe. Mm-hmm. It'll take a while to build up that trust again, but, you know. So my point is, like, it had to be a situation like that for me to be like, nah, I ain't talking to this person. Like, what's the point? But any other situation, I would do it. And I would go handle it before it even got to you. Because I would want to go do that. If it's my thing, if it's my issue, my problem, my feelings, like with one of like your people's,
And what if you tried that already and it didn't work out? What would you expect me to do?
Oh, I'd be like, hey, well, I don't think I'd expect you to do anything.
Okay.
Like if I tried and it didn't work out, then I'm gonna be like, hey, babe, that's what. I'd be like, yo, you can if you want to. Mm-hmm. If it's on you and you feel the way, you can go handle that. Mm-hmm. But if I'm the guy with the feelings and I did it, and then I'll just be like, and nothing happened.
You would no longer care.
I mean, like, no, I'd still care a little bit because I would just want it to be resolved and done. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I'll still care a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't expect you to be like, hold up, I got this. I mean, you can. Like, I mean, you're the person in the middle, so naturally you're gonna want to resolve something. You're gonna want to be the peacemaker. But I mean, if you didn't, I don't think it would weigh that heavily on me. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe it's a guy thing. I just feel like us men were
and you'd be okay with not being okay with. You'd be okay with not mending fences with my family member.
Only if they did something that is unforgivable.
Only if but what if it's something that was just a misunderstanding or there's no closure.
We can get past. I believe.
But if you talk to that person and there was no resolve, you're okay with moving on.
No, because that means that conversation wasn't productive. I'll be like, all right, we need to have a productive conversation. And
then if it happens and there's no resolve, what happens then?
Then I'll be like, I'll let it go.
You'll let it go.
Yeah, at that point, if I know that person didn't want to, then I'll be like, all right, well, I know where you stay. Cool.
Yeah, that makes sense. I understand that. I think I'm the person that I'm very overprotective, so I'm the person that takes ownership and I drive the ball or drive the needle. I don't know what the term is, but I pretty much take initiative and try to get the people to talk, the people who are in quarrels to talk and just make it work that way. And if it's between, me and, like, let's say there was an issue with me and Sebastian's family member, I would definitely extend myself and handle it. And I would definitely give Sebastian an earful, but I wouldn't expect him to do much unless, and I guess it depends on the type of family member, because we could be not very close and I just feel like, okay, I was offended by this, and then I would expect him to check his family members. However, if we do have a relationship, I would definitely extend myself and say, hey, this is not sitting well with me, and, be the one that handles it. But I'm also the ownership person where if it was on my side, I'd be like, hey, I need you guys to, figure it out and stuff like that, or talk it out. And I guess it depends on what it is that I would either put the ownership hat on or the supportive hat on. But there's a lot of things that falls into the supportive umbrella where it could be a situation where, for example, Mr. Francois here, he's just like, he has to understand before he gets to the point of resolve. If he doesn't understand it, it's kind of like he doesn't know what to do, and it gets to a ball of emotions like, I don't know what to do. Either I'm fearful or I'm worried or I'm this or I'm that, and it's just like a ball of emotions where, for me, I'm the type of person that's automatically supportive, then resolve later. And so there's a lot of instances, well, no, not a lot, a handful of instances where I felt like Monsieur Francois wasn't supportive. Like when I was driving through the rain that time and the windshield wiper broke. Okay. Where the windshield wiper broke on me. Now, this wasn't my car. It was an older car that I was, was in. And so it was storming like crazy. And I was on the phone with him, and we were just that type of couple where we just call each other randomly and we just have conversations. Like, even though we're going to see each other. And it just broke, and I couldn't see anything. I was in the middle of the highway, like the middle lane, and I only could do so much. So I was trying to get over, and I was freaking out because it was storming. I could not see anything. This car's coming. The windshield is so blurry, and I'm on the phone with him, and what does he do? He was like, baby, get off the highway. Like,
no, I was telling you, I think I told you to pull over.
No, you said get off the highway.
Well, yeah, but that's what I meant by like pulling over, not like
but
get to
I'm
the shoulder.
trying to tell you, like, I cannot even see,
But you know
and
where the
I'm
shoulder
freaking out.
What? But you know where the shoulder is,
But if cars are coming, right, and I can't see, right?
Put on your hazards, slow down.
I did do that.
Yeah.
I did.
So that way you'll be able to, people just start going around you. And then you could,
I did do that.
Along. Like I've driven with not being able to see as well. I guess we just have different reactions.
And all you had to say was, babe, try to keep calm. Try to keep calm. Let's see if you could pull over. If you can't pull over, just drive really, really slow.
But that doesn't work with you when you're in your moment.
What? What do you mean?
Baby, I don't know how to effectively...
Have you ever even tried that?
Are you kidding me? That's why I said it. Baby, calming you down when you're in your high of emotion, it's like, a part of me is like, yo, I have to just let this ride until she's able to get to a point mentally where she can accept what I'm saying.
Let it ride is different than you going off on me while
no,
I'm
I shouldn't.
in my
I know I
emotion.
shouldn't have been on some, all right, babe, and started speaking up aggressively, like, yo, do this, do that. I know that didn't work, but I know that even like the subtle talk that you speak of, like that wouldn't work at that moment either. You need something like in the middle.
Babe, you don't do that. You do not do that.
I didn't say I did. I'm not telling you that I'm doing that. I'm telling you that what you're suggesting wouldn't work either.
How?
Because
when you're
in the, I have. When you,
that's what I'm just saying. You don't do that. You do not. You don't do that.
I know I've done that before.
No. You don't do that. You don't do that. Maybe you think that you do, but you don't. I mean, we've gotten better.
No, I'm saying
I've
had to have at least tried. Because where would I get this? I'm trying to think of
your version of calming Shelly down is, babe, relax. Relax.
I don't.
Calm down.
I don't talk to you like that. You know that.
Oh my God.
No. I say those. I say those words, but I don't say it with that.
No, you don't. You probably don't think you do.
I don't use that tone.
You probably don't think you do, but you do, sweetheart. Nah, you do.
You always over exaggerate.
Okay, so it's me now.
No, stop. You always exaggerate the tone I give you, and we do it all the time. Oh like I'll say something to you, and you'll be like, "I don't know what you just said." Clean it up in this big voice. I'm like, baby, I did not say it to you like that. I don't talk to you like that. I never have, and if I did, it would be a problem. You would be like, yo, watch your mouth. Like that's exactly what you'll say back to me.
I said,
if you're letting it slide off of if I say something to you that crazy, and you don't respond with your natural Shelly response, like, because you'll buck back. If you're not bucking back,
I'm glad you know.
I think so. If you're not bucking back, that means I did not. Hold up, babe. If you're not bucking back, then I know for a fact that how I said it was not crazy. And I don't speak to you crazy. I always try to. I mean, there's been times where like I've raised my voice. It happens. You know, we raise our voice at each other sometimes, but like never to a point where like I'm talking down at you or like, yo, you better do like, nah, that's not gonna work with the type of woman you are. You're gonna be like, nigga, who are you talking to? Like, that's not gonna work. And I get that and I respect it.
Can I interject here?
Of course you can.
Okay. So, baby, you do that. Okay?
Come on, babe.
And I like that you said, if I had talked to you like that, you would have definitely bucked back. I like how you said that because now it lets me realize that I shouldn't let you get away with the times that you have done it.
But
because
I don't
in
do
my
it.
mind,
I don't
no, you do. But because because I don't stop you, or if I don't say anything, it makes you probably think that you're not talking to me crazy.
Sweetheart, that's not you. I know how I talk to you, and I'm very mindful of how I regulate the words that come out and how I say it. And I don't just be talking at you all types of crazy.
No, you don't. But I'm saying like when your version of calming me down, it is.
Like I might say something stern.
Okay.
But you take but I feel like you've gotten 7 years of this docile Sebastian. That when I bring out this, but that's how it feels because when I bring out any kind of sternness, you think that I'm just going crazy. Oh, he's crazy. Yes. I'm like, damn, babe. Like I'm just like what you mean? I'm crazy.
No, your sternness has been coming through to me the entire relationship. Baby, it's just that it's true, babe.
I was not stern with you in my early years. You know that for a fact. I was really docile, and you know that.
You were not.
That's why you was able to do. That's why you was able to.
Babe, you were stern throughout this whole relationship.
I don't think so. I was type soft at the beginning, and I was letting you get away with a lot of stuff.
No, sweetheart, that's not true. You've been stern throughout this whole relationship. It's just like you're getting more and more stern and more, you know, you're giving me a little bit of a push more, and I think that I let some of it go is because I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm not even going to go there with you because I don't want an argument. So I like that you said that. You know, if I would have did that, you would have checked me. Because there's a lot of times I could have checked you, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to leave that alone because I don't want an argument. Because I'm already on level 10. I'm already upset. So I'm not going to take it there with him. You know what I mean? And then there's some times where you kind of push a little bit more. And I'm just like, yo, watch your mouth. Stop talking to me like that. And it gets to that point only a handful of times because, you get a little bit more aggressive. But that's not often. But I do notice that, when I'm on 10 and I probably do freak out a lot more often than you, or I'm a little uncomfortable and I'm just like, my mind is just tense and you do kind of calm me down like that, babe, relax. Like you get more stern and you just like, that's your version of trying to get me to calm down and it's not calming me down. It's kind of just like putting more fuel because I don't know, maybe it triggers my mind to make me think that you're just telling me what to do versus like trying to calm me down.
Okay, let me adjust a couple of things.
Okay.
All right. Well, one. The sternness that comes over the phone or directly when you're going through, I'll say over the phone for now. Like when you're going through something that I feel like I can't handle, I get frustrated.
Okay, all right.
So
let's talk about it.
And another thing is this: for some reason, I really have a problem with. This might sound wrong, but I have a problem with complaining. Okay. When I hear complaining all the time, it makes me want to be like, bro. Just stop. Like at my job, I hear nothing but people just complaining. I'm like, then why are you here? I mean, like I get it, you need money, but I don't want to hear none of that stuff y'all are talking about. I don't care about none of that. Tell somebody who cares. I mean, it sounds horrible, but I'm just like, yo, how you gonna come to work and talk about what you're not gonna do? Why don't you just stay home and sleep? I don't want to hear that. Like I don't want to be here either. But I ain't talking about it.
Right.
Like you feel me? But whatever. It is. That's that. It feels kind of wrong to correlate it to this situation, but like. When you just say like, yo, I don't know what to do. I'm just like, okay, all right, okay.
Did you feel like that was complaining when I was saying, babe, I kind of need...
No, but here's the thing. That's wrong to take it as such. But I still received it as such.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You received it that way.
I did receive it that way. Which is wrong because it's like you're actually worried.
Okay.
But the thing is that I'm worried too.
Yeah.
I don't know how to handle it from here.
Right, and that's what I was saying from Jump Street.
I don't know how to effectively say
Yeah.
and the way it came off.
Mhm.
I mean, you had to let me know that it came off more aggressively than it did, and
Yeah.
maybe I'm so used to speaking aggressively. Like I'm thinking about how I speak with my guys, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had to regulate. Oh, can't talk to my wife that way.
Yeah.
That's how I normally speak. Like, yo,
Right.
all right, relax. Yo,
Yeah.
calm down. Like, because that's how I would receive it if it was me, and then I would just calm down because I'm like, yo, bro, you're bugging.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I realized with you, it's very different.
Different. Yeah.
So so I learned, okay, so I learned, but here's the thing though, I still feel like if I'm giving you that peaceful, calm down, but I feel like if you're on level 10, I don't know if that's really gonna get you.
You think so? Because you've never tried. You've never
Are you
tried.
sure, man?
Yes,
I don't know, man.
You never tried. I think that you're
for me to have this confidence, I feel like I feel like I had to have tried.
No, you've never tried. I think that, like, just like how you said, you kind of confirm exactly what I was saying. When you don't understand the situation at first, and it's hard for you to really grasp it, you're trying to get. You were trying to figure out how to help me over the phone. You were trying to figure it out. And because you didn't understand how to, it made you frustrated. So it was hard for you to talk me through it. It was hard for you to support me through it. That's what I was trying to say. And so it got aggressive because I automatically shut down when you were like, yo, relax. Like, baby, get off the highway. Like, you don't think I'm trying to get off the highway? Like, I'm trying to do that. And so if you received it as complaining, I understand that. I understand.
But that's wrong.
How you could have
wrong.
received it as complaining. But
that's
wrong. I know that I wasn't complaining. I was just trying to say, babe, this is what's happening. I'm really freaked out right now.
But that's wrong. And I feel that was years ago. And I still feel bad about that.
It's okay.
Because like that's not the way I should have handled that. But
it's okay.
When I'm in a
frustrated state.
Yeah, but the frustration comes from the fact that I can't do nothing from here.
You can't help me.
Like if I was just there, I would have just been like, move out the way.
Yeah.
And I would have just somewhat. I mean, I don't know what I could have done, but I would have been. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say, remember when we was in that snow squall? Like, what if it was just you in the car and I was on the phone? That would have been the same thing, but worse. But since I was the one driving, I was like, when you was going through it, when you were saying all your craziness, I'm like, I could just. I'm just gonna focus on getting us home safe. I can focus on getting us home safe. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be good.
Yeah.
You know
I see what you're saying. So in this case, I think that we've talked about how you could support me because another incident happened, and I had to sit down and realize, okay, how do I get him to, register things differently so that he can support me through things and that it doesn't causes me to stray away. And we had a very healthy conversation about that recently. And I'm glad you understood. And the fact that you're saying this now is kind of like I was wrong and I get frustrated and stuff like that. This is growth because it's like you're recognizing that.
But I apologize back then.
Yes, you did. You did. I'm not saying that you didn't. I'm just saying that this is growth. It's kind of like, in our relationship, we've had trouble setting a boundary of support. You know, we support each other with our careers. We support each other with our lifestyles. But then there's emotional support too. And we've struggled with that. And so now we're doing a lot better with recognizing and understanding how to support with each other's personalities and how we receive certain things versus how we give off certain emotions or give off certain demeanors. We've started to understand, and now we're working through emotionally supporting each other. Is that right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that we've definitely come a long way. So yes, we've set the boundaries of support in our relationship and our marriage right now. I mean, we haven't touched another surface of it. We'll see how this goes, but have I supported you emotionally? Like when you've been tense, when you've been upset.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, I can't even joke about that. If something's really bothering me, I can go to you about it, and I can expect genuine support. That's always.
Yeah.
I can't think of a time where, even when your feelings weren't even all the way there, you were still that person. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you always were that.
Yeah. And thank you for working.
Damn, this make me feel crazy though. Like,
I think you just have to learn things about yourself. That's all. It's just, you've only been your own person for some odd years, and now dealing with somebody else, you have to learn how to deal with them. So you've been this way your whole life. Like, just like you said, when you talk to your buddies, they're like, yo, chill, like, relax. You're
funny,
good
like,
with that.
Even that
helps you.
Yeah, but even when I sit and think about it, like even as of now, like that don't even work
It doesn't work anymore?
On them sometimes, because I speak about the whole, like the Mo performance situation and all that. Like,
when you say that, it doesn't work for him.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm realizing,
gotta learn how to work that.
Yeah. You can't give off
what works for you.
What works for you. You gotta focus on what works for that person.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why I get that. And honestly, even though that would work for me, I actually would appreciate somebody delivering a message that was a bit softer, to me. I would be receptive to that as well. So yeah. All right, let's move on to something.
Next one. Communicate. Our communication boundary. Communication is such a broad topic. There's so many pieces to communication in terms of our boundaries. One thing I can speak to is how to speak to each other. And I guess we can tie it into the emotional support. How we speak to each other, you have to set that boundary from the door. So if you're the type of mate spouse that talks reckless, your mate or spouse needs to understand that from Jump Street, or nip it in the bud if they don't respond to that well. Monsieur Francois and I, when we communicate, just like how you just heard, he has to watch his mouth and I have to watch mine. We don't talk to each other aggressively or abrasive. We try to keep it together. There's some times where we do get tense, and I have raised my voice. I'm going to be honest about that. And it gets to a point where it's kind of like he has to be like, okay. Let's get back to level 1 before we get to level 10. And so communicating to each other starts from speaking to one another. It also talks about having a plan and setting an expectation. So if you guys communicate, you want to make sure, aside from talking to one another, making sure that you're actually getting to a goal, set a goal, have wonderful results from your communications. It's just like you have to make sure that you're on the same page. Have that plan, be on the same page, and stick to it. Any other additional thoughts?
I'm with all that.
You are?
I am.
Okay. Do you want to talk about anything further? This topic further? Do we have a healthy communication? We have a healthy communication style. There are rooms for growth, though. I think, you know what? I think in every marriage, like, the communication is always going to grow. There's always going to be room. There's always going to be room for growth with communication with your spouse all the time. Every single way, every single angle. It's just like you're always going to have room for growth in communication. I think the room that we're in right now is setting a plan and sticking to it. What are your thoughts about that?
I think we do need to do that.
Okay.
We kind of hit a couple of bumps on the way doing it, but I mean, that's one of the things that we need to do for the most part is, sticking with what we started with and all that stuff. And our communication has gotten better, but it could be better. There's certain things that, that I'll say and you'll take it a different way, and I'll be like, oh, I actually meant this, and you're like,
yep.
All that stuff, all that confusion and stuff. So I get that. So we gotta step up when it comes to that too. But over the years, we kind of like we've I think we've done better with that over the years. I think we've gotten better.
Okay. All right. I think we've gotten better too. Interpretation and trying to clarify, like, okay, what do you mean by that? And what did you really mean? Or what are you really trying to say to me? And then when you question me, like, okay, I like when you actually question me. And it just happened the other night when you were like, help me understand. Did you mean this? Or did you is this exactly what you're really trying to say? I like when I question you. No, I don't like when, okay, let me take that back. I like when you probe to clarify what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I always want to understand.
I like when you do that because it helps me try to express to you exactly what I'm saying.
All right.
We both know that my expressing you know what? I did read in the same article about the communication of how I am as a communicator. And it talks about communicating in arguments. And there's a word for what I actually go through. And I'm going to read it for you guys. Identifying each person's triggers and signs of flooding. Let's talk about what flooding is. Flooding is a John Gottman term when your heart rate exceeds 100 beats per minute and you are unable to think clearly, solve problems, or even comprehend or clearly process what is occurring, which isn't productive for talking about a difficult issue. Does that sound familiar, sweetheart?
Yeah.
Asking for a break when you recognize flooding occurring, which might be anywhere from 20 minutes to 24 hours. Honoring this request and having each partner engage in a calming activity, such as walking the dog, reading, running, meditating, watching a favorite show, or taking a bath. Returning to the conversation using effective communication skills is a part of that communication barrier. So, pretty much, flooding is what I go through. That's pretty much summing my reaction to arguments up. I literally cannot go through an emotional... I can't go through things. Like, logically, my mind will not let me do it because I'm just so heated. I'm so aggravated. I'm so frustrated. So the communication...
I never experienced that before.
You've experienced me having to go through that though, right?
That I did, yeah.
Yeah. So realistically, this is what we deal with when arguments happen. And so another part of a communication speaks to how we deal with one another. When it comes to the setting the plan and going, if we set something and we don't fulfill the goal that we set for ourselves, and we speak to each other about it, and I start to get this flooding sensation, I immediately have to just be like, you know what? I gotta go because I can't with you right now. Monsieur Francois has a habit of, I don't know, I was just asking you earlier, how do I make you commit to the goal that we set? How do I make sure you know I mean business?
I know you mean business.
I know, but how do I get you to stick to the goal because you knew I mean business, but you still didn't commit?
This is a bash episode.
No, it's not.
We're bashing bash.
It's not. It's not a bashing bash episode. I just said that I have an issue with communicating with you in terms of arguing.
Nah, you glanced over that. You was like, a little issue. But this guy.
No,
I hate this.
I had a whole like background of information context to talk about it. What do you mean? I didn't glance over it. This is like what I really suffer from. I suffer from flooding.
Would you really say suffer though?
I do suffer. You've experienced this firsthand.
I mean, yeah, but like
for every little thing.
I know when you be serious, yeah. So you don't have to like, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole, like I take you seriously.
I think you do.
I always have.
I don't think you don't. I'm just saying, like, how do we get to a point where, I don't know if you guys experience this, where you're just, you're kind of like, you have a conversation with hubby or wifey, everything's good, you have a plan, and you're like, okay, good, break. And then it's like, hey, what happened? You didn't stick to the plan. Like, what happened? We're on the same page. We recognize that we're on the same page. We agree to be on the same page. We have this actual mentality that we're sticking to this goal. And then next thing you know, it's just like, okay, what happened? Is it just my husband? If you guys have something like this or experience like this, definitely send your feedback to our page, The Francois Podcast on Instagram. Love to hear your feedback on it. This is not a bash.
I think it's more of a forgetful thing.
Yeah, and we also have to rely on memory, which I don't know. You know what? I watched a Wendy Williams episode one day, and she did questions at the end, Ask Wendy segment, and she said that in order to help her mate, her husband, and her son remember things, she would write them on a note and put it on the refrigerator. Now, my thing is to get you to look at the refrigerator to see what you need to do.
Is it Wendy's face like longer than Monday?
Oh boy. All right, next.
Nah, my bad.
So
right,
we still have room for growth.
I'm focused.
For communication.
I'm focused. Go back to that.
There's still room for growth.
Go back to that.
Okay. So is that going to help you? Is that going to help you remember things?
To put like a note down somewhere?
Yeah, put a note on the refrigerator.
The only thing is I got to remember to even write the note. That's the thing. Like,
no, I'm going to write the note and you have to watch it.
Oh, all right. Well, where you going to put the note? Because I might
on the refrigerator. Oh, my goodness.
Cool.
You see? Prime example. What just happened?
I didn't forget. I just didn't hear it, I guess.
You didn't hear? You're right next to me. Well, I said refrigerator like 3 times.
My bad. I'm watching the Super Bowl.
Oh. I'm so sick of you right now.
My bad, yo.
Oh, my God. Focus. Stick together. Come on. Next topic.
Boy, Pat Mahomes. Crazy. No. All right, but bet. But not for real though. I probably would. But here's the thing: I got to even remember to even look at it on the refrigerator. I could just, I don't know. It's you know.
How can we make it a habit?
I don't know. I'm working on it. I'll let you know when I find something.
No. Not when you find something. When we find something.
All right. Well, okay. Then we'll let y'all know when we find something.
What? All right. All right, next set of boundary. Making sure that you set personal time. So setting personal time for your spouse. And this means that not quality time, personal time. The way that we've done it in our relationship has been, it hasn't been hard because we weren't living together. We didn't see each other all the time. It was like once a week where we caught up with each other face to face or twice. And that would be like the whole entire week would be our personal time. Now that we're married, we set boundaries where he goes to the gym, I go to church service, and that's our personal time. Or, he hangs out with his friends. Not very often, but he does take time to meet with the guys. I
go to church. I get it. I chill with my friends. You go to church. I go to the gym. You go to church. I go to the studio. You go to church. Yeah, you know how, that's kind of how
I go. Yo, I'm so done with you. I'm so done.
Is anything I said a lie? Stop me when I'm lying.
I have no problem doing that. I think that, my personal time is either when you're working, I'm home. Right? And I take that time to just have Shelly time. If I'm not at church service, I either do chores or I really relax and I do nothing. But it's important for us to not be in each other's faces every single day, all day long. It's great that we take our personal time for ourselves and just have us time and have me time, I guess. Setting that boundary is very important in a marriage because you want to have space. You want to have thoughts for yourself. You want to be able to just have an outlet. What?
I need my time.
What? You need your time.
Yes.
I need my time as well.
Great. Get it.
Good.
Now.
Cool.
Turn this podcast off.
No. It's so annoying.
Nah, but it's crazy? After we got married, I realized how important that is. And I realized my personal time is really like my ride to work and home and then the gym, really. Like, that's really kind of it. And then like early Saturday and early Sunday mornings. That's when I have my me time.
Okay.
But I realize how important that is. I kind of just need some time I need that Sebastian silence. You feel me?
I feel you. And I need that Shelly silence. You're not all in my face all the time.
You better stop playing.
And I'm not playing. I'm very serious.
I'm the one that don't want you in my face all the time.
Okay, that's cool. That's fair. That's fine. We don't need to be in each other's faces.
Yeah,
that's
you was crying off air.
I was crying.
You don't be home. I need some time. What you doing tonight? What you doing tonight? You doing something again? You out of y'all.
This is coming from the same person that said, babe, I'm so sorry. I'll spend more quality time with you. I love you so much. Kobe passed. All of that.
Hold up. We're gonna respect the great legend Kobe Bryant.
All right,
now.
that's fine. I respect him. I'm just saying what you're saying. I'm using your words.
I did. Yes, I was very much in my feelings.
Okay. All of a sudden, your feelings went away out the window.
I didn't say my feelings went away. I'm saying that I was like, yo, I do need to spend some more time with you. You know what I'm saying? But, my me time is still just as important as well.
Well, your me time is more important than your wife time.
I spend more time with you than myself. Do I?
No, you do not. Stop. I'm glad you thought about that just now. That was just like a hold on before you finish situation.
I don't know. Maybe
I'm going to let you finish, but.
I feel like I do. Well, okay. Well, as of lately, nah. I'll say that. As of lately, I've been very, very, very busy. So.
But all in all, you really should set personal time by yourself. And even though we're chatting and talking through how much time we don't spend together and how much time we do spend apart because of work and, his tour and etc., extracurricular activities, we do try our best to make sure that we see each other or we spend as much time as we are. I'm just loving on him right now. Let's talk about other boundaries that affect our family and friends, and our parents. I guess that's family as well, but just to separate the two. Speaking negatively about your spouse.
Nah, I don't speak negatively about you at all to nobody. When I speak to other people about you, I try to big you up because I want them to love you as much as I do. Amen. And that's a fact.
Amen.
Like, I be flexing too. Like, if somebody be like, "Oh, you got what, man? Let me see. Let me see a picture." I scroll, find the best one. I'd be like, "Bam! Oh yeah, you can't compete, can you?"
Oh, stop it! Thanks, baby, but okay, you do a lot, but thank you.
Sometimes the situation is warranted, and you gotta flex.
I really appreciate that, my love. I think that that's very admirable. You're very sweet. I love you.
I love you too.
Speaking negatively about your spouse, no, you should not do that. You should not go to your family, your friends, outsiders talking negatively about your spouse. Set that boundary from the dough, okay? Make sure that that's just not something that you do. Now, I asked Monsieur Francois earlier, what do you deem as negativity? Because if you are this mate and spouse who reaches out to your mom or your best friend about a situation that you're dealing with in your relationship, it's not that you're talking to your friend or your mom about your spouse saying, okay, this guy is a bum or this woman is a bum or they're disgusting or they're just nasty or whatever the case that you're saying. It's really saying, hey, I'm dealing with the situation and this person just keeps constantly do this. And as much as I tried, it's just not working out. Is that negative? Is that speaking negative?
No. If you want some insight from somebody else that you know is not judgmental or not look at your spouse a different way and you just need some guidance in a particular situation, I don't see that as negative.
Okay. All right.
I think it's negative if you continue to complain about your spouse to others literally all the time. But I mean, I don't know. It's kind of case by case because if your spouse really ain't acting right, it's like you're going to need someone to talk to. But, but I don't know, man. I just feel like there's certain things, unless the person you're married to is not someone you really can talk to, I really feel like that's something like, I don't know. If we're going through something crazy, I'm going to work harder on trying to handle that with you than I am with trying to handle that with somebody else.
What if it's not working, though? You're working with your spouse, trying to make this work, try to handle it, and it didn't work out. You just need some outside help. You need therapy.
No, if you need that, then go get it. Well, anything to resolve the situation, anything to bring it to a resolve.
So, but that's not negatively, though. That's not speaking negative on your spouse. Okay.
But But you know it's speaking negative. You know, I'm talking
I do, but I was just wanting to make sure we clarify because you were like, you talking bad about me to your friends. I'm like, I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about the situation.
I know you're not doing that, though. I know you're not doing that. That's not something I worry about at all. But
Okay.
I just think that, you know, whenever you speak like of your spouse, it should be something positive.
But if the spouse is getting on your nerves and you in your feelings and you're speaking to a best friend.
Well, yeah, but okay, but how about this? Like,
Mm-hmm.
when you marry somebody, they're not going to be 100% perfect all the time. You're
No,
going to have your
they're
good,
not,
you're going to
they're
have your
not,
bad.
yeah.
You choose whether you want to say the good or the bad to the person you're talking to.
Right.
I choose to say the good.
Okay.
Like, you ain't perfect, but that's none of their business.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and there might be certain things I'll mention, but everything is tasteful, everything's cool, and I always end it, you know.
With like
I
they're
end it
great
with something
person.
positive.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's how I move.
I think that's a good way to move. I think that's awesome, especially with your marriage. You want to make sure that there's no, how could I say, no negative result or no negative outcome in terms of speaking to your friends about them. Allowing people to talk negative about your spouse.
Never, ever, never.
Okay.
Never.
Okay. Agreed.
Never.
I think that's a very good thing. I think that being raised in my culture is very judgmental. Okay? So I choose not to speak to anybody like, for example, my mom. Sorry, Mom, I love you. I don't talk to her about anything regarding my friends, regarding my spouse, regarding anything that I'm dealing with that doesn't just involve me. Because she will be judgmental, she'll criticize, she will talk bad about it. Mm-hmm. And you can't tell her, Mom, don't do that. That's just your mom. It's just like, that's just her nature. And I think that's not just her. I think there's a lot of people in our culture who do this. And it's just like, you need to know to choose who you talk to about this. Or if there's a situation that you need to have an outlet or a person to talk to, you need to know that's the right person who's not biased, who is open-minded, who can give you constructive criticism as well as giving you positive solutions, on how to work it out. And I think that you need to just be mindful of who you're talking to. So you got to nip that in the bud. If somebody starts talking reckless about your spouse, you should be able to talk to a person where they're just a neutral party and they say, you know what, but this is the good thing about this person. And this is the person, like, just hold on, just hang on in there, instead of, yeah, that ain't right, they need to go. Like, you want to make sure, unless the person really does need to go, I'm going to be that friend and be like, sis, it's just a trending situation where it just seems like it's not going to be a good outcome. So you might want to think about your next steps in life. I would be brutal and be like, they might need to go. But at the same time, now that I'm married, I do have a different perspective on relationships. And I'm not going to be the first one to say they got to go. Unless it's an abusive situation. Now that's non-negotiable.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts, babe?
Nope.
All right. So telling all your business. Have we set boundaries on that to our family and friends?
Well, I have.
Why are you saying it like that?
Didn't you ask me?
What do you mean? Like, well, I have.
I have, though.
Okay.
That's my answer.
Man of little words right now. Okay.
But I don't know. There's certain things I can let people know. Certain things I don't let them know. But I gotta keep within these walls. Ain't none of their business. Some people are just open books. Mm-hmm. My boss is an open book. Mm-hmm. My boss has a daughter that went through a breakup, and he just told me and my coworkers all about it. I'm like, but what that got to do with why are you telling me this? This don't got nothing to do with me. Like, and I'm sure if she knew, she'd probably be pissed at you for putting her business out there. Like what are you doing? Like, and to be honest with you, I don't really care about her breakup. I mean, no offense, but you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You got everybody different.
Everybody's different. I think
I'm just not an open book like that.
You're not. Like, I'm not either.
I disclose what I feel I need to disclose. I disclose like what I feel I need to on this podcast or in my music. Mm-hmm. But that's all you're gonna get out of me,
right?
And which I feel is enough.
I agree. I think that it's in a marriage, and I quickly learned this in my marriage, that even your best of friends don't need to know well, my best friends don't know everything about our relationship, but there's even certain things that they don't need to know. You know, you could have worked it out yourself. You could have just left that, on the, what do you call it? The cutting floor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cutting room floor.
Cutting room floor.
I like the video editing term you just used.
Yeah. You could have left that
language.
there, and you didn't have to highlight it. But I think that I learned this very quickly in my marriage, because it wasn't anything that was detrimental to my marriage or could affect it if I had told anybody. But they don't need to know. You shouldn't really talk. You shouldn't really talk too much about what's going on in your marriages. So now that you are now one, and it says this, like we've learned this reading scripture, you pretty much are one now, and you're it's kind of like your spouse is your best friend. Okay, so everything that goes on in your marriage stays in your marriage. Just like whatever goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's what it's gonna have to be, and your friends and your family should respect that. And that's just the bottom line. So, I'm very. He's not an open book. I'm not even a book. I don't know what I am, because I'm so tight with all of my information.
You're not even the index. It's like you're not the forward, the footnotes, nothing. You're just
I'm very, very
sheet of paper.
Tight with my information. It's just so hard for me to talk about anything personal. But when it comes to really diving deep in my marriage, I can talk to my spouse. But if I'm going through certain things, even outside of my marriage, I do rely on my best friends. I do rely on the people that I know that I consider not even best friends. They're like family, like literally family. And I rely on them to talk to them about that. If I know that I can speak to my husband, but if I know that it's something that I just need a friend for, because not all the time you can talk to your spouse about everything, but you should. But there's some things that I feel like I can speak to my friends about, just like how you can speak to your brother about. And you don't need to necessarily talk to me about it. And I do rely on my family about my friends, my best friends, who I do consider my family, regarding talking to them about that, I guess.
Okay.
So I think that it's fair to say that you don't have to share everything in your marriage. And you can put that boundary of what you can touch on versus what you don't need to touch on with your best of friends now that you are a married couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I learned recently how to, put the boundaries and how to work that out and figure it out. And I think a lot of people, and I wouldn't talk to everybody. I would just talk to my best of friends. So hopefully they're not judging me. But again,
they ain't judging.
It's just the way that it
Those
is.
Are peoples.
Yeah. And if they're your true friends, your true best of friends, they would not judge you. They'd just be like, they'll be the neutral party and definitely help you through it and talk you through it. Yeah. Any thoughts? Any additional thoughts, questions, suggestions, babe?
I just think that for me, my challenge in this whole in setting boundaries was like, well, actually, I'm going to speak to what we were just talking about. The last point was in regards to like telling other people your business. It wasn't like hard for me, but I grew up with a twin brother, and I'm used to telling him everything all the time. So my life was based on like that brotherhood at first, and then I meet you, and things kind of change because it's like, nah, I can't just tell him everything we're talking about. But it was almost instinctive for me to do it at first because I tell him everything. Like I don't even think.
Yeah.
Like I'll just tell. I remember back when we was in high school, a lot of times we had separate classes. I used to write down what happened in the day just to remember to tell him later.
Wow.
Like for real. Like, this happened. This kid threw something and it made noise. Some kid got punched in the face. So this kid something,
Wow.
And be like, yo, old dog, check out what happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to do that. And I still do it to this, well, I don't write nothing down, but I still do that. Like, yo, if we ain't see each other in a couple of days, think to myself, what happened in these days so I could tell them? So if in one of those days, me and you go through something,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when I gotta hit the pause button. Like, oh, no, actually, nah, he don't need to know that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, well, he could probably know that we had something, but not like the whole ins and outs of it. Because at the end of the day, I gotta respect the privacy in our marriage and the fact that we have this union over here that not everybody needs to be into, even the people that's the closest to us.
I know it's hard though.
We
it's really
can
hard.
let them in when we want to let them in, when we feel we need to, but not just because.
Right. It's hard though.
So, no, it is because, like I said, it was instinctive for me at one point.
Because the way that I look at my,
kind of is.
I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. It's okay. I'm just saying that, like, it's still somewhat instinctive for me, but I kind of just check myself on there, like, no, I'm not gonna get into that. Like, I could keep that to myself. I don't know if she wants other people to really know that or something like that. So I'm trying to, manage that the best I can.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But that's like my final thoughts on that.
I think that it's hard for me because I value my friends so much, and I know that I can trust them. And it's like, because my wall, and everybody should know this by now, my wall is thick. And it takes like demolition to break it down. So if I trust you, I trust you.
Like brick by brick, I'm having at it. How far am I now? Like I should be like.
You're down. It's completely down for you, sweetheart. Yes, it is.
The wall's got to come
My
down
wall
like
is
Jericho.
very thick. So if I trust you, I trust you. And if you think that you know something about me and we're not that close, just know that it's not anything.
That was my challenge. I saw the wall, and I was like, yo.
Yeah,
I was going to turn that to the Berlin Wall.
I cannot.
Turn it into Jericho. It just comes all crashing down. You feel me?
Okay, if you say so, kid.
Hey, man, it was a challenge, but took a couple years, but did the thing.
What I feel is if I value you that much, then I trust you. And I do talk about, certain situations of my marriage where it's just like a topic and I say it. I do trust that. It's just like... I'm confiding in you, but I know the importance of keeping your marriage business in your marriage. So yeah, that's just important. It's very important. It's highly important. So it's not a dig or what's the term? It's not like a diss to your friends. It's just that they have to respect the boundary that you're setting for your marriage.
That's it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, learning,
well, your real friends
growing.
will do that.
Your real friends, yeah, the people that,
that's
of course. Yeah, they will understand.
They're not going to try to pry into your business just for the sake of knowing.
They will respect
Some people just want to know
Mm-hmm.
just to know. Like, and I'm just like, just relax with all that.
Yeah, it's important that you have those friends, too, that's just kind of like, I understand. It's okay. If you need anything, I'm here. Those are the importance of the friends. And yeah. It's learning, it's growing, it's wisdom as you get older.
Word.
Yeah. So I think that's about that. This was a very cool thing. At the end of it all, babe, I think that we've set great boundaries. There's so much room for growth. And I think I'm looking forward to just experiencing a lot more challenges with you and facing them and working them out with you. I'm looking forward to it. I know it's going to be, an experience, but I'm glad that we've gotten so far.
AKA, you're looking forward to me not screwing up.
No, that's not what I said. You're not even listening.
I am.
Communication.
All I did was translate.
No, you did not. You didn't even translate right. I said I'm looking forward to us getting to those challenges, not you screwing up, but us, and then we can work it out together.
It was a little heavy on the Sebastian side.
I didn't even say Sebastian, did I?
No, I'm just talking about what we discussed earlier and everything.
Do you have any challenges with me that you've had to set boundaries for? Because I don't see what I mean.
And we're out of time.
What? You're such a joke. What are you talking about?
No,
there are no challenges.
Nah, there's definitely challenges.
What?
We say that for the next episode. You feel me? I'm not going in
communication.
I'm not in that place right now.
Okay.
I mean, well, yeah, communication. That's on both of us.
A challenge, yeah.
Yeah. That's on both of us. But we gonna. I don't feel like
that's gonna be the bad episode.
You don't like being criticized. You don't like me taking no shots. You gonna feel like I'm taking shots. We're just gonna put that to the side. We're not gonna do that now.
I don't think
I'll take all the lumps. I'm saying it's all good.
Babe, I don't.
Nah, I'm just messing with you, babe.
I'm not ready for this right now.
That's cool.
You're a hilarious, kid. You are hilarious. Anywho. Alrighty, so let's do the verse of the week. This verse of the week is coming from Psalms 104, verse 9. Thou hast set a bound that they may not pass over, that they turn not again to cover the earth. So I was looking for a verse that really spoke to a lot of what we touched on. And we know how scripture works. It's here a little, there a little, precept upon precept. So it's not going to completely touch on what we've been talking about all this episode. But I thought this was important to call out because this actually relates to basically separating the land from sea. And I thought it was cool to kind of just highlight that. God already set boundaries there. He set boundaries in terms of separating the garden, that tree of life. And we had a joke about it earlier about how in this day he's Eve and I'm Adam. Because
who's Eve?
You.
I ain't Eve. What you talking about?
You would have eaten that apple.
Hell no, I'm not eating no damn apple.
Yes, you would have.
I'm not eating no forbidden piece of fruit.
No, see,
that guy specifically told me not to eat.
Okay, this is why I believe he would have eaten the apple, not knowing what we know now. I believe he would have eaten the apple because, again, we talked about setting that plan and achieving the goal. He would have eaten the apple because he wouldn't have had a legitimate excuse of why he shouldn't eat the apple. Because God said we shouldn't eat the apple from that tree of life. Okay? But if the serpent would have said, how do you know? Did God specifically say you shouldn't eat the apple? Or is it because you don't want to eat the apple? What do I look like
listening to a serpent? He's a snake.
Listen, I said knowing what we know, we won't know what we know now.
No, I'm not talking about knowing what we know now. I'm talking about like, yo, that's a snake. It's a serpent. Can't listen to him. Can't trust him. He's a backstabber. He's going to lead you wrong.
You know that now. But if you hadn't known that then, you would have eaten the apple.
Why?
Because that wasn't a legitimate reason for you.
You keep saying I know that now, but then
yes, we don't. Adam and Eve didn't know then that serpent was evil. Did they know that then?
But you're telling me to go against God. You gotta be evil.
How do you know that? You don't know evil. You don't know evil.
Because so what do I know?
You know that he said not to eat.
So why what? Because you're picking what I know and don't know.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
no, you are because you said that you think I'm gonna be the one eating the apple because of how I am now.
Because no, because you wouldn't think that would be a legitimate reason for you.
Because that's how I think now, right?
Yes.
So what makes you think that's how I would have thought then?
Because that's your personality. That's how he made you, right?
No, that's not how God made me.
Okay, so how does God make you?
That happened to me post negative situations. I just started to normally challenge authority.
I get you. So got you. Because of that situation, now you're kind of rebellious.
Absolutely.
Got you. Understood. So if God would have said,
I was raised off of I'm sorry to cut you off, baby. Mm-hmm. I was raised off of a do as I say, not as I do. Well, kind of. Mm-hmm. My parents always did good, but that because I said so. Mm-hmm. I was raised off that, and I just listened. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying. So. When I think about how I was in my early years, I'd have been like, oh, they say we ain't supposed to do it, so we ain't supposed to do it.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
When I was younger. Now, I'll have questions. I'll be like...
You'd be like, God, but why? You would have tried it just to see what God would have done.
No. I would ask questions.
But if he said, I said so.
I'll be like, all right, cool. But then I'll go to whoever I would have went to whoever my Eve was, and be like, hey, well, why do you think that he wants to do that? But just never do it. But I'll be questioning it, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Kind of weird like that.
Okay. I think you still would have been Eve. You would have caused us all this destruction.
Nah,
and then men would have been giving birth to babies. That would have been awesome.
Oh, so you want me to bite? You wanted a man to bite that. Listen, just deal with the fact that a woman messed up the earth. It's okay. All right?
I think that Adam really lied on Eve. He probably really ate the apple. I'm just saying, because women,
Stop
like,
it.
I'm just saying, women had to take the fall for everything.
So this is the only time you question the Bible.
I'm just,
Now you question the Bible.
Let me stop. I'm just saying, I don't know what happened.
Oh, but now you say you don't know what happened.
I do.
Everything else is, it's in the book. It's in the book.
Let me stop with this blasphemy. God forgive me. But yeah, I think that was just his first display of creating a boundary of the earth, the land, and the sea, and that was his first display of it. And then there was more displays of it throughout the Bible of setting people apart, making sure that they're basically, living righteous versus living unrighteous. It was like boundaries to it. It was like levels to the boundaries here. So I thought that was a good place to start, or even to relate to what we were talking about. So yeah, that was just the verse of the week. Any thoughts, babe?
Nah, man. I mean, you're in a relationship, you're in a marriage. Set healthy boundaries when need be, and I think then you'll be good to go from there. I had to learn that, but I'm glad I learned it when I did.
We're still learning. We're still growing. And
yeah.
And I'm very happy about that. Love your spouse through it all. That's the final word of the day.
Always.
Love.
Always got to.
You have to.
That's the foundation. You know what I'm saying?
That is the foundation.
Facts.
Hey. All right, so you ready to do the benediction?
Yep.
All right. Father God, bless Sebastian and Clichelle. Bless the listeners. May they be at peace, find joy, and always seek you first. Thank you for this opportunity once again to glorify you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Another podcast down.
All right, you guys. Oh, we should say next week is Valentine's Day week.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a couple of things cooking up. We'll send some communications out there, and you guys, you let us know what you like.
Fellas, save your money. I know I'm saving mine.
Yeah. Well, we wish you a blessed week, and we'll see you next time.
Peace, y'all.
Signing off.
Much love.